Previously on
How to Become the Perfect Specimen.
Strength, your control, your technique, your form, your focus, it's all there. And all of that is what makes up beautiful strength.
2, 3, 4, 5.
It's time we show the world how to become
The Perfect Specimen.
What's going on, gangsters? Gregory Scott here. So, how are you feeling after last week's video? Are you feeling a little bit challenged, maybe? If you tried some of the workouts, if you tried some of the strength sets, maybe you're feeling a little bit sore, maybe, hopefully. Overall, I hope you learned at least one new thing, and the most important thing, that you're not just watching the videos, but you're actually taking action. That's the most important thing. In this video today, we're going to be talking about upper body pulling strength. Wait, I didn't even get to finish my sentence yet. We'll break down what we should be focusing on. I'm going to give you some strength sets and a workout to try, of course. And of course, we'll continue on our journey of becoming the perfect specimen. Let's get to it. Pull-ups, yes sir. So in this giant world of fitness with influencer X and influencer Z and influencer XYZ, there's so many things that are being thrown at us, and it's really hard to distinguish sometimes. It's really hard to recognize what's real. But remember, I'm here to help. I'm here to help you with all of that. So one huge step, a huge foundation, something that will really set you apart from being the perfect specimen versus just being average, is something seemingly simple. It's seemingly simple, but it's actually something really important. And it's simply this: being able to do shiny, clean, good form pull-ups. And notice that I'm putting heavy emphasis on clean. If you remember from the last video, remember we're always pursuing something called beautiful strength. If your strength is beautiful, then that proves that you know this movement well, you understand it well, and you can execute it well. You can execute it so that it looks beautiful. So this is especially true for pull-ups because, well, pull-ups, they're a lot harder than push-ups actually. With push-ups, unless you're doing advanced level planche push-ups where your feet is off the ground, some of that weight is going to be supported by your feet. But of course, if you're doing pull-ups, if you're hanging onto the bar, then 100% of your body weight you're going to have to pull up. So automatically, by default, it's much harder than a push-up. It's a much more difficult movement. So as we venture into this world, as we start to go into pull-up territory, this is where you really start to see a separation between people. You can really start to see the difference between the strength and the skill of somebody based on how they do their pull-ups. But because you're here, because you're on this channel, because you're watching this video, I know that you want to be set apart. I know that you want to be that elite level, that perfect specimen. But I'm not selling you a magic pill, right? I'm not telling you to inject yourself with steroids, right? Not at all. All I'm telling you is that, well, first you have to receive the right information, then you have to start applying that information, work hard, and then you can have the results that you want. To be the strongest, to be the most skilled, all you have to do is receive the right information and apply it, right? It's not even rocket science. If only there was a video that was going to give you some good pulling foundations and then give you a workout at the end. Oh wait, that's this video. So that's the rest of our video. We're gonna have pulling foundations. We're gonna talk about the things to be mindful of, the mistakes to avoid. And then of course at the end, we're gonna have a workout. We're gonna have some strength sets for all levels. Oh, and one more thing. So if you're at the point right now where you can't do a full pull-up yet, it's okay. It's really challenging actually. There's a lot that goes into it, and like we were talking about earlier, compared to a pushing movement, compared to a push-up, you actually have to pull up your entire body weight. So if you're even heavier, then it gets exponentially even harder. So it's okay, it's challenging. There's a lot that goes into it. But for that reason, for that purpose, because it's difficult, I actually have other videos created for you, other videos that will help you get your first pull-up. So it might seem like an uphill battle, but I promise you that you can do it. So go watch those other videos, go build up to your first pull-up, and then when you can actually do the reps, then you can come back to this one and get the full benefits out of it. Still watch this video, there's still some good tips that you can pick up, but once you can actually do pull-ups, then you'll start to get the full benefit from it. So if you can't do a rep yet, that's okay, keep pushing forward for it, but if you can do reps, then let's get into the exercise instruction now. Okay, whoosh, whoosh, teleportation again, look at me. But okay, so number one in becoming the perfect specimen, number one in being strong in your pulling strength and be able to go to that next level where you're doing muscle ups and you're doing one arm pull-ups and all these kind of things.
Number one is having strong pulling foundations and fundamentals. Okay? So actually the number one thing I want to talk about is a mistake that people make. And you would think that I wouldn't have to talk about this thing, but actually I do. And once I point it out, once you start to think about it, you'll realize that you see it everywhere. So this is a mistake you need to avoid. It's a principle that you need to have in your mind, and it's simply this. In your pull-ups, you need to always get a full and complete range of motion. No half reps, okay? So exhibit A.
Oh my God!
Don't be that guy. Exhibit B. Actually, I don't know if you're aware of this. I'll tell you about this now. But every time that somebody doesn't do a full range of motion pull-up, just anywhere in the world, every time this happens, a small child suffers. Tragic. Surely you don't like suffering children, and I don't like suffering children. So let's think about this, right? Every time we're doing our pull-ups, let's think that I need to have the right form, I need to have the right technique, otherwise a child is going to suffer. And especially think about this when you get tired, because it's easy to do the form when everything is right, when you're feeling fresh and everything is good. But once you start to get tired, that's when the form usually breaks down. So you start your set strong and you also finish your set strong. Really make good habits for yourself because, well, we don't want children to suffer for no reason. So that was thing number one, is getting full range of motion on your pull-ups. And number two now is something that's related to all of this. It's related to everything we've been talking about. It's related to beautiful strength. It's related to strength control. So as we're pulling, as we're progressing, then our strength control, it also needs to be improving the whole entire way. And the number one way that we can start thinking about that, the number one way that we can start forming this base is realizing the role that your scapula plays in all of this. It's being able to engage your lats in the pull. That's the number one thing that we can start thinking about. So I tell you that, but now I have to give you something applicable to think about, okay? So I'm gonna tell you the thing that whether you're a beginner or an advanced, you have to know this, right? This is really the foundation. This is where all pulling movement starts. So if you actually understand this concept, well then you can just, your understanding, your strength control, your beautiful movement, it will just go up from there, okay? So it's the concept of scapular retraction, right? Scapular retraction, understanding how to engage the scapula and all the surrounding muscles, because this is how the pulling starts. Every single pull, it starts this way, with hanging and then engaging your lats. That's how it should start, right? So you get the full benefits. So you get everything that all these muscle groups have to offer.
Eventually, you start to recognize the role that your scapula and all the surrounding muscles play. You gain awareness and control, and you realize that all of your pulls should start in this way, with engaging your lats and this fancy technical term of scapular retraction. So number two thing to be thinking about when you're learning or improving your pull-ups is engaging the scapula. To have beautiful strength, to have good clean pull-ups and beyond, you have to understand this movement. So you can even try it. You should try it. And as you do it more and more, you actually understand it. At first, you have to consciously think about it, but then eventually it starts happening automatically all in one smooth motion. I don't think about engaging my lats and pull-ups anymore. It just happens. So it's like this. Relaxed, engaged, relaxed, engaged. My arms aren't bending at all. I'm engaging the muscles around my scapula and only using my lats.
Well, this might be a new concept for you, but it's absolutely crucial, right? It's so important. So learn it, try it, understand it. And as you do it more and more, I promise it'll all make sense.
So number one, full range of motion. Number two, gaining control and awareness of the muscles around your scapula. After this, you can start to have nice clean reps, which means your strength is going to go up. And from that point, that's when things start to get really fun. Once you start to develop a good base of strength, similar to our push-ups, you can start to do different variations. You can do wide grip pull-ups, you can do narrow grip pull-ups, you can do mixed grip pull-ups, you can do grips you've never even seen before. We can also do unilateral movements in the same way, like the pulling version of an archer push-up, which is an archer pull-up. We have one-arm pull-ups as well. And of course, we have our explosive pull-ups, which will start to build you some monster strength. Something we didn't talk about last time was weighted work, which speaks for itself. Once your foundation is set and you're strong, this is another way that we can start to build next level strength and a way that you can become the perfect specimen. like I said in the last video, all these things are still just the tip of the iceberg.
So now I know all of you by this point are so ready to get to the workout. You've just been watching me work out for like, I don't know, probably 10 or 15 minutes, but I just want to give you one more word before we get into it. One more, maybe motivational, encouraging, helpful word. So in the process of becoming the perfect specimen, it starts off like this. It starts off like this because you realize that there's so much information that I don't know, or you might realize that, man, I'm so weak. How am I ever going to get to this point? That's how it always starts off for everybody, even me. Like, I remember when I first started doing pull-ups, I could barely do like 5 pull-ups, and I would just spend so much time like in that below 10 range doing like 5 pull-up sets, 6 pull-up sets. And it was discouraging at first, but I realized, just like with everything else in life, you just have to keep going and keep going and keep going, and it gets better. So this is for pulling, this is for pushing strength, this is really for anything in life, right? It starts off like slow, but then it starts to snowball. It starts to snowball over time, right? First you learn about pushing fundamentals, but that awareness that you gain from pushing fundamentals, that's gonna help for pulling strength, right? This body awareness that we're gonna gain for pulling strength is gonna help down the line for handstands or for planche work. So the work, it starts off small, but I promise you, if you just keep going with it, it snowballs. So we're like this, right? We're going on this kind of journey. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, but then eventually you start having fun with it, and then it's just like up and up and up and up and up. So that's how it goes. So it starts off slow, but it's kind of like we're building this beautiful ice cream sundae, right? First, we're just like getting the bowl, and then next, maybe we actually add the ice cream. Then we add like some peanuts, we add like a cherry, we add some Hershey's, we add some like caramel or something, and then it all comes together. So just keep creating your sundae, right? Keep creating your flavor, and I promise it'll all be worth it in the end. But even along the whole entire way, it's worth it because it's a beautiful journey that we're all on. But okay, there's my word for you, and now I know you're ready for it. Let's get to the exercise instruction.
Okay, so now we're going to learn something today. Today, our workout is going to be an EMOM pull workout. An EMOM pull workout. So you're probably wondering, what is an EMOM? Well, I've heard that there's like e-boys and e-girls. Maybe there's an EMOM, but this is not that. This is in a completely different category. An EMOM is every minute on the minute. So for your workout, for the workout you're gonna have later on in this video, you're gonna have rounds. You're gonna have 6 to 10 rounds that you're gonna do. So you're going to have 6 to 10 rounds, and those rounds are going to take place every 60 seconds. So every minute on the minute, you're going to have a round, and that's going to be challenging. But as you do these sets, and even in the workout today, it doesn't always have to be every 60 seconds, right? You don't have to just stay in the box of doing 60 seconds. So here I wrote EMOM 2. So this basically means every minute on the minute, but instead of every minute, you're gonna do every 2 minutes, right? So it like makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. But I mean, once you see EMOM, you know that, okay, I'm gonna have consecutive rounds with short rest time, and you can just indicate like with the 2 that this is gonna be 2 minutes, right? So you can do EMOM every minute on the minute 3. So this is gonna be, you're gonna do a set every 3 minutes. And this is how your workout is going to look today. Here, same thing, you can do every minute on the minute, but maybe you don't want to do 1 minute, or you don't want to do 2 minutes, or you don't want to do 3 minutes, but you want to do 90 seconds. So you really have that flexibility to do whatever you want, but this is just ways that we can indicate what the workout is going to be. So there's lots of benefits to an EMOM workout, and I wrote down some of them here. Number 1 is it's very high intensity, because if you can imagine, if you're doing 6 to 10 rounds, that's so many rounds, but it's so many rounds in a short amount of time. So you're really pushing the pace, you're really going after it, but you're only resting for a short amount of time. For EMOMs, I wouldn't really go anything above 3 minutes, because if you're going above 3 minutes, then it becomes less of an endurance set and more of a strength set. So EMOMs, they really have the benefit of really building up your strength endurance, right? So high intensity strength endurance, you get a lot of work in a short amount of time, and it's really effective. So this is what we're gonna do for our workout today. This is really gonna help you build up to get those high numbers eventually if you're not already there. And this will just overall give us a good understanding of movement, a good feel of being able to challenge ourselves, of keeping our good form throughout all sets, and it's very effective. So this is what we're gonna do for the workout today, and now let's get to it.
All right, beautiful people. So here we are. I'm going to show you the beginner set now. And something to keep in mind for this. This is a different pace than the pushing set. This is going to be a different pace than running or doing cardio or something like this, because this is pull work. It's a different muscle group, and because of that, it's going to be a different pace. So even if it's not the pace that you're used to, even if it doesn't feel like how you feel when you're doing a push-up set or if you do a sprint, it's still going to be work. right? This is what your body needs, so do the sets, do it well. Okay, so for beginner set, the first set is gonna be 1 to 6 pull-ups. It's gonna be a 10-second hold over the bar. We're gonna lower down controlled and go right into knee raises, okay? So remember always, beautiful strength, beautiful strength. So you need to be thinking that each set, I want this to be crisp, clean reps. I wanna get all the way down, all the way up. When I'm above the bar, when I'm squeezing, I don't want my chin to drop. I don't want my elbows to be flared out. I want to be in. So all these things you have to be thinking about. On the knee raises, you don't want to be swinging. All these things you have to be thinking about. Beautiful strength. So this is a beginner set, but even for somebody advanced, when they do this movement, it should look perfect. All right, so here it is. Here's how it's going to look. We're going in, get your full did hang on the bar. We'll go for 6 reps. 2, right? I'm coming all the way down controlled. I'm engaging my lats. I have that good hollow body. I'm up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 10-second hold. Elbows in. I'm breathing in through my nose, out my mouth. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming down controlled. Don't just drop down, they come down controlled. Now, as I do these knee raises, I still want to have my lats engaged, and I'm controlled up, and then I'm controlled down. So no swinging, right? There shouldn't be any swinging, but just controlled up, controlled down, keeping the lats engaged. Controlled up, controlled down, breathing. Controlled up, controlled down. Controlled up, controlled down. Controlled up, I'll do 6 reps, controlled down. Whew. All right, so that's work. That's grip strength, right? Grip strength. That's pulling endurance. Holding above the bar, that's gonna take a lot of work. Coming down controlled, having to control your body weight, right? And then staying engaged with the lats while doing the knee raises. It's so much work. So even if that's a beginner set, it's a lot of work. Even if you're just doing 1 pull-up each time, 1 pull-up, 10-second hold, coming down controlled, that's work. So don't think that you're not doing anything just because your reps are low. You just build up, and then you'll get it. Okay, so that's the beginner set. Okay, now the intermediate set. So the beginner set is for somebody that's just able to start doing pull-ups, right? So your numbers are still kind of low. So what you want to do is you want to build up that endurance so you can actually start doing more advanced movements and start getting more difficult sets. You have to earn that point, you have to build up to it. Now here at the intermediate level, we can do a good amount of pull-ups. Here at this level, you can do a good 8 to 12 pull-ups in a set. But now that we can do multiple pull-ups, now that we can do multiple reps, now we want to start working on our strength control and just even more building the endurance, okay? So what we're gonna do in this one, we're gonna do a wide grip pull first. We're gonna transition to a normal grip. Then we're gonna transition back to a wide grip, and then we're gonna do our reps from there. And then another hold at the top, coming down controlled, and instead of knee raises, we're gonna do leg raises this time. So the challenge in this one is, of course, keeping everything clean. Having to transition from the wide grip to the normal grip to the wide, again, that's gonna take a lot of strength, right? And you'll see that once you experience the set. But of course, you wanna make it look smooth, right? You wanna make it look pretty, beautiful strength, and this is what we're doing. And then of course, for all of these sets, we're doing 6 to 10 rounds. So you might feel amazing on the first round. You might feel like, oh, this is so easy, right? You might feel like, oh, this is easy on the second round. But remember, the rest times are short. And there's so many rounds that we're doing. So this is going to be a very effective workout for you. If you keep doing this, you're gonna build an abundance of strength. You don't do it every day, every week, but doing this is gonna be really good. So I've been talking, let's get into the set now, right? All right, so I'm starting with wide grip, right? Get a good wide grip. Good wide grip pull. Now, transitioning to normal grip. Look how I kept my hollow body. Look how I kept my hollow body. There's barely any movement, and I'm here, I'm back. Now I go for my reps. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Control down. 1. No swing, just control. 2, 3, 4, 5. I was talking less because I had to focus more on that one. It's not an easy work. Grip, strength control, lats, core, everything. If you do 6 to 10 rounds of that, you'll be in a good spot. Okay, so here are going to be our advanced sets now. So at the advanced level, you already have strong pulling fundamentals, right? You know about engaging your lats. You can do 8 to 12 good reps, and even more than that. You can do 8 to 12 reps for mini sets, right? So your pulling endurance is there. Only when you get to that point, only when you have an abundance of strength, then should you start working on next level variations like muscle up or one arm pull up and stuff like this. So that's what this set is designed for, right? What we're gonna do, we're gonna do one archer pull up to each side. Then we're going to do explosive pull-ups from there. And then after the explosive pull-ups, again, 10-second hold. And then instead of leg raises or knee raises, we're gonna do toes to bar, okay? So this next level everything, right? There's always a progression and always a regression in calisthenics, all right? So not much more I can say, let's just get it, right? And oh, one more thing. You might say, oh, you're only doing one archer pull-up each side. Well, yes, because again, remember, we're doing 6 to 10 rounds of this. We're doing 6 to 10 rounds. So you might feel good on that first one. You might feel like, oh, this is easy. But I promise you, after the third round, after the fourth round, if you go all the way to 10 rounds, like it's gonna be work, right? Because that's 20 archer pull-ups that you did. And 20 archer pull-ups is a lot of work, right? So like humble yourself, right? But challenge yourself, and I promise you'll get good work out of this EMOM, right? This every minute on the minute, but it doesn't have to be 1 minute, it can be like 2 to 3 minutes. So just adjust to the level that is good for you, and we'll get it. All right, so this is gonna be my first set. You know, I might make it look easy, but once I get to the 5th, 6th, 7th set, even me, I'm like, all right, let's get it, let's go. All right, so here we go. Archer pull up, boom, clean rep, boom. All right, explosive pull-ups now, let's get it. Boom. Trying to pull to my chest, try not to hit my mic. Boom. All right, we're gonna do 5. 4. One more, my mic is falling off. 5. All right, 10-second hold above the bar. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Clean, controlled toes to bar. My mic is falling off. Here we go. All right, so whoop, there it is. So much information I've given you, so much to meditate on and think about, but just one step at a time, right? I'm giving you this food, so just chew on it, apply it over time, and I promise you'll see results from it. So this is really important, right? Building a strong foundation, that's number one. Then you can start building next level strength, and then ultimately you can become the perfect specimen. All right, beautiful people, so whoop, there it is. I've already said enough. Now we just have some work to do. So as always, keep pushing forward, keep getting that 1% better every day. Spiritually is important. Mentally is important, but also physically. So keep doing that every day, 1% better. And as always, have a gainful day. Peace.